Here we go.
Range green.
That's good to hear, Joshua. Right there.
Public safety there is accounted for. The
Space
FPS
Force
system,
is handling
beautiful
the
shot.
the
skies
launch
look great.
area
There's
and then
little
making sure
wind,
everything goes well.
happening, you'd be able to see more of
Go
the,
Space
the
Force.
venting, if there were wind, the trail of that venting. So we're ready to go.
And actually, that's an important point. The reason we don't see that venting is the vent valves have been locked up to put flight pressure into.
And just so you guys know, there will be no landing recovery. The Atlas V, although it's a great rocket, cannot be recovered. It's a type of these old style rockets. Still good though.
Status check. Go Atlas. Go Centaur. Go Mars 2020.
Let's do it!
You're ready to go lift off this morning, Joshua.
8, 7, 6.
Here we go,
5,
people.
4. Engine ignition. 2, 1, 0.
We lit this candle, baby. Let's go. All right, Atlas V has launched.
Perseverance of humanity launching.
All right, folks. So you can see those side boosters strapped to the Atlas V there on the side. Those will get depleted and get jettisoned at some point here during launch after they've gotten rid of all the fuel, gotten the thrust they need out of this thing, and they dump it so that they're lighter, so the remaining fuel can still put that rocket into orbit. All right. So again, throttling down. See the. Okay. So do you see the sound barrier get broken there? That's why they throttle down. They throttle down because they're pushing against the atmosphere, and if they kept that rocket at full blast, it would rip that thing apart. It would get it destroyed. So I know I get very excited about Max Q. It is the point. They're really one of the toughest points you've got to get through. But honestly, I'm seeing some great views here from NASA. They've really stepped up their game in their camera tracking. And I'm not sure who's in charge of that, whether it's NASA or the ULA, since it is their rocket.
At this time in flight, the SRB chamber pressures remain nominal. The RD-180 pump speed and fuel injector pressures are responding well to demands on the engine.
All right, that's good.
Standing by for SRB burnout shortly.
All right, so essentially everything's looking good. The rocket is still going through. Everything looks nominal, as they say.
Pressure signatures look good. Standing by for SRB jettison shortly.
Nominal for anyone that's just brand new to that. That just means it's working like it should. All right, folks. Things are looking good. We're almost at 2 minutes into launch here. 27 miles downrange.
Good indication of SRB jettison of all 4 SRBs.
All right, so those 4 side boosters have now been jettisoned.
Vehicle body rates are responding nominally at this time.
But yeah, John, no, it is crazy. It pretty much is an autonomous rover, which is really, really crazy. It's a whole next step above from what we've done in the past.
And coming up on 2.5 minutes into flight, the RD-180 is throttled down slightly as expected. Engine response continues to look good. At this time, the vehicle is 50 miles in altitude, 85 miles downrange, traveling at 6,000 miles per hour.
6,000 miles per hour. This is from a because I'm a science communicator, I have to talk about this, but from a communication standpoint, I'm not sure what this view does for us as viewers. Like, how does this relate the fact that this is going 6,000 miles per hour? Is there a way for this broadcast to portray more of the scale and the insanity of what this launch is? I think so. This is a great view. I would argue this should have been on even earlier, but that's just me. That's just me. I think SpaceX is at the top of their game as far as getting a broadcast that really translates well for what's happening. So fairings have deployed. The rover and the second stage is now exposed to space. It's out there. And basically from here on out, what we're looking for is acquisition that the Mars rover has a signal, that it's feeding back from space, but that also may not happen, which is fine. The rover may not be ready to talk to us yet, but that's okay. But essentially here we're still having the Atlas V booster
the RL-10 for operation.
Okay. So what's happening now is it seems that there's...
Stand by for VICO shortly.
Okay, so main engine cutoff, which is we're looking down the main engine to the bottom of the rocket here. That's going to cut off here shortly. And from the sounds of it, I think they are warming up the different parts here that are going to be exposed to space so that they can operate normally. So there's an actual operation where they actually warmed that up. But here's our first stage.
We have good indication of Atlas Centaur separation.
Yeah, I agree, John. They do. They have the best audio and the best visual. That's SpaceX for launches. This is a great view. We need more of this. Why is that camera better than the one that's on the side of the rocket? Is it a cost issue? Is it just that they are stuck in their old ways? I don't know what it is, but
This will be the first of 2 burns for today's mission. This first burn.
it's really hard to argue when we've gotten spoiled by what SpaceX has offered as a visual presentation. And that's it, folks. We've got launch of our rover. Mars Perseverance, against all odds, has now gone into orbit. It is still, there's another burn that they're going to have to do today. I have to get on with my day here, but I'm really glad that we all had a chance to hang out and talk. And thank you guys for hitting me up in the chat. We will keep you updated at Today in Space Podcast on Facebook, Today in Space Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and of course todayinspace.net is our website if you'd like to check that out. We will see you for another episode of Today in Space. Good luck, Perseverance Rover, on the rest of your mission. See you guys later.